I'm in my studio at home, and I'm about to start a canvas from a very small pastel image that I did many, many years ago. This image is probably 8 inches square. I suffered with this thing so many years ago, 20 years ago. Oh, I'm going to get my very fancy Home Depot drawing instrument here and sketch this out. I don't spend a lot of time drawing. I'm basically just trying to locate objects, get the feel of the place. Back to that pastel, I remember working till about 2 o'clock in the morning on that thing. I was very green as an artist, and I just ruined it. So I scraped it out with a razor blade and just did, what would you call it, outlandish things to it. And it was a success, even though it was a very small scale. And I've done some permutations on that from time to time. This is the first time I've done an oil from that little bitty pastel from, it could have been 20, 25 years ago. I laid out a few colors on the palette, not the entire thing, but of course it's going to be a blue and green painting in my mind. You'll see glimpses of it in the iPad there at the bottom left as I go back and forth. I wasn't too worried about trying to bring out the entire palette because I really don't know where this is going to go. Again, this is an image I know, but it's a new adventure. There's that iPad. Thank you, Steve Jobs. I sure get a lot of use out of that. Now that I've blocked in some of the blues, I'm starting to locate this yellow, and I'm putting that yellow in right on top of the white. It's going to have a backlit sort of look to it. Now, this may not continue through the painting, but I want these bright colors on that white right away because I want to see how yellow this thing can be. At this point, I'm really working at full power, full chroma. Now I've already put in some different things in the sky just to get some variation in it. You can see some purples, some blues, some green aquas. Right there I just got some aqua onto my yellow brush, so I know that that's not going to be full yellow anymore. Yeah, there's some of that green coming off of it, but that's okay. I don't really care. This is going to be a lot more solid than what I'm putting down right now, and I'm looking for accidents. You know, I'm steadily filling this thing in, but I'm watching for opportunities. So of course, there's reflection down there. I'm not doing this in an illustrative sort of way, but I'm locating a little bit of that yellow into that purple, into that blue, and it changes the colors. It's a surprise to me, and I'll just follow that. I like that aqua in there. So now I'm trying to push some contrast. I don't want this to be some wimpy thing, so maybe those darks are a shade too far. They are really, but I don't care. I can make that work like that. Don't know, again, where this painting is going to go, but it is moving forward. Now I'm painting this straight through, at least this first session. It's a cold day. I've got a long sleeve shirt on. It's nice getting something in there besides blues and greens. And that red is almost an arbitrary choice. Sometimes I'll just grab something out of that family of colors. It's fun watching these things blend in. Now, if you go too far, you just get mud, and I was on the fringe of that. But there's a way to use that as well. I'm starting to get some movement in this already. And I'm very happy with how this looks. Now, at the time I wasn't happy. Looking back on this, I'm a lot more satisfied. Now I'm covering up some. That's a lot of brushwork, by the way. My arm is about to fall off because I haven't taken a break. I've probably been in this now for about 45 minutes. And I so wanted to get those straight lines out of there, so I made a quick change. I sure like the way the top of those trees looked after I cut into those. Now I've been holding back on this particular yellow-orange, and I'm starting to bring it in. That's fun. I'm still referring down to the iPad to get these shapes that I put into a previous pastel. And from that pastel, I actually put it into the computer and juiced it up a little bit. Took it a little further. Sure like that new color down there in the water. Here I'm just building complexity, building contrast. It's starting to fill in nicely. I never think this way though when I'm painting. I'm pushing against it. I'm really in a sometimes a struggle, sometimes it's in a flow. Okay, now that sky and the water getting to be too much the same thing. I know I'm not happy at the time with the reflections, but I'm getting some colors down in there. I like the slant on that. I'm glad I cut those trees off on the right. Still haven't completely filled in that tree on the left. So it appears the guy with the paintbrush there is on his second day, and his wardrobe manager must have taken the day off, so I've just got the plain white t-shirt. It is nice to come back on this the second day. It's dried somewhat. I'm using these little cheap decorator brushes that you can get at the hardware stores. This is a habit I picked up from Wolf Kahn, so I think it's a good habit. It allows me to fill in a lot of canvas pretty quickly. I'm doing a little fine work there. That's not something I spend a lot of time on. But it does make a difference. Okay, so the sky now is different from the water. And I'm happier about that. Fun to watch this go in. Pushing those edges up at the top. I want this to stand out against the clouds. I'm not crazy about that purple in there. So out comes this palette knife and scrape some of it off and rub off the rest. I don't mind having some, but that was a little too illustrationist looking for me. I like that green. It was kind of dead over there. I was covering up all those blues I put into the trees originally, those darks, and putting that green in there brought some life into that mud I had made, trying to eliminate the earlier dark blue. Oh, that's fun. That kicks. You know, if I wasn't left-handed, this would probably be a lot better painting, but I'll work with a handicap. It's fun getting all those colors down there in the water, and I'm producing a little bit of glow. I'm still arbitrarily grabbing some colors. There's one right there to just try to shake things up a little bit. Sometimes light colors, sometimes dark colors. I really don't know from minute to minute what I'm going to do on this, but I'm watching to see what it needs, and there's an example right there where I was putting a little bit of dark. Well, that sky's looking pretty good. I like the complexity in the water, the trees. A little too much of the same color in the water and the sky again. There we go. There's a fix. That's helpful. Even more helpful. Very happy getting that red in there. Okay, now, good. Oh, what's he doing? Well, it's a good move. This guy looked pretty good, but you know, this is a little better, a little more contrast, a little more surprise. Let's see, I've got a lot of brush strokes going at the same angle there on that sky on the right. I'm going to cross through those later, surely. No, that's not too bad. But yeah, they're all coming at the same angle. I'll be taking care of that later. Okay, I've got some of that green coming in over there. Blue on top. It's nice. I usually don't speak this kindly to my paintings, but this one's working out quite well. And here's the finished painting. Managed to get the sky different from the water. Complexity everywhere. It's a nice finish. And there's a piece of the palette. I really enjoy doing this, and I hope that you like the ride, and thank you so very much for coming along.